My name's Leo, and I'm a transgender person. I use they, them, and their pronouns. Transgender is a huge word. It's sort of an umbrella term that encompasses a lot of different gender identities. For me, I personally identify as transgender and transmasculine and genderqueer, which means that I do not identify as male or female. A lot of people who identify as genderqueer say that it's somewhere between a spectrum of male and female, and because of that they use they, them, their pronouns, which are gender neutral. With language, tons of our words are gendered, especially in English. So for example, instead of being a sister, I'm a sibling to my sisters. As a teacher, because all of our titles are gendered, Mr., Mrs., and Miss, I go by my first name, which is Leo. So when someone asks for gender neutral words, it means to avoid words that are tied to a specific gender. The best practice for figuring out which words people prefer is to ask them. I know that a lot of cisgender people are nervous about asking people pronouns, but actually to me it shows a sign of respect. As a genderqueer person, over the course of the day, I am misgendered probably 30 to 40 times, and I get both he and she over the course of any given day. Almost nobody uses they unless they're within the activist community or transgender themselves. If you are curious about what to do with a transgender person in terms of pronouns, or can't tell someone's gender, or don't know which words they prefer, you can simply ask, what pronouns do you prefer, or what are your pronouns? And in fact, it's usually a compliment to hear that because it means that you respect them enough to use their pronouns. So some people, when they're trying to use new pronouns, are worried about making mistakes, and mistakes are okay. The most important thing to do when you make a mistake is to self-correct. A lot of people even apologize, and that's not even necessary. You can just say, oh, I mean they, and continue the sentence that you were saying the first time around. It also helps to practice with a friend who's not the trans person. So if you just want to get used to using the language, if it's new to you, if the grammar is new to you, then you can practice with someone who's not that trans person. And it's okay to model mistakes. For most people, they're not offended when you make a mistake. It's just people who do not correct those mistakes and people who refuse to transition over time, over weeks and over months, because that turns into disrespecting the person. As a trans person, you can really tell when someone is putting effort into using pronouns compared to when someone doesn't respect your pronouns or does not respect your identity.